Alrighty guys, Project Midnight, getting some stainless brake lines like I said in my last video. Got them laid out here on the Camaro. This is a Dorman kit, comes with all the lines. I've already done the rear axle lines. Did that in another video because I think one of those blew out, or I did something, I forgot what I did. Anyway, this is the Dorman kit. This is a crew cab short bed 2500 HD. And the lines are crusty. I'll give you a look under here. They're just breaking off. Yeah. I shouldn't have been running this truck that way. That's pretty dangerous. I knew better. I've had this line kit, I think, for a year or something. And I should have installed it before I broke a line, but here's the ABS module where you got all your lines going to that. I've got them unhooked. I was hoping it would kind of drain out so I wasn't getting brake fluid leaking all over me, but I'm just cutting the lines, guys, and breaking them off and whatever I gotta do to get them out. I ain't worried about them. On a side note, my fuel line is not looking all that great either, so probably gonna have to order some of that. It looks okay, I guess, this way and that way down the frame, but right here it's not looking very good. But that's another video. I'm going to finish pulling these brake lines out and we'll get to installing those new ones. This one that goes under the bed is probably going to be difficult. It goes up above the fuel tank. But probably going to grab some new rubber lines too. I might have done the front ones, but I got to do this one here. This rear one. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to take the bed off of this thing. I've tried to pull my rear line out and I can't get it to come out. So it's either pull the bed off or pull the tank out. I'm going to pull the bed off. The bed's got to come off this thing anyway. So that's the direction I'm going. Everything is unbolted, unplugged. So I should be able to just go get the forklift here and lift this thing off. Well, there's the bed off. And the frame actually looks really good on this thing. For as rusty as the the boxes and the cab corners and rockers. Pretty good looking frame. This is actually in better shape than the dually's frame. So we look pretty good here. I know these cross members like to rot out right here by the fuel tank because sand builds up in here. And you can see there's sand built up. I'll have to play around with that, see if it's solid. It looks solid. So we'll just get that cleaned out, I guess. You can see the whole reason I got this bed off is for this line right here. This brake line, and you can see it's pretty jammed in here. A couple clips like this that won't let it go. So you either got to take the fuel tank off or the bed. So the bed's a little easier, I think, to take off. I've taken off quite a few beds, so it ain't that big of a deal, and I got a forklift, so it's the way I chose to go. Anyway, I'm gonna start getting this line out. Maybe I can get this rear line in. I had to make a little extension piece right here for the lift. That was in my lift video when I did the lift kit, but anyway, probably gonna pick up a new hose. Might go do that so I can get this rear line in. Another thing I'm going to do while I got this bed off is I'm going to get this little spare out of here. That spare ain't going to do me no good with 35s here. I can't bolt a 245 on there anyway, so I'm going to get that out of there. No need in that being in there. So I got my first line in, the rear line. Actually fits really good. It actually fits a lot better than a kit I ordered for Darth Dooley. This kit actually fits a lot better. That was kind of like seemed like a generic kit, and this actually fits. It's more of an OEM bends in it. So I like the Dorman stuff better. One thing I don't like is I've got a cap on this line, but it didn't come with that. I added that from stuff we had. So they don't come with caps, which I didn't like that, but they're bent better. And this actually went on pretty well with the bed off. Had to move some things over here. Kind of had to snake it around this, but it fits in there really good. To pull some of this stuff back on now that I got the line run. But yeah, I might run this underneath it. A wire there, I might go underneath it just so it ain't on top of it. But one line down, 4 more to go, I guess. Okay, so I got my new rubber line in place here. Got it attached to the bracket. And then I've got the T-line right here bolted down to the differential. Everything's snugged down. I think I snugged it down good enough, so we should be okay. So rear line is done all the way to the ABS module. So now we're going to work on the front lines. But before I do that, I'm going to replace the Hydroboost unit and also the master cylinder, just because I'm taking all the lines off anyway, so this is a really good time to do that. The Hydroboost was leaking on this thing. Just never have gotten around to doing it, but I'm going to do it right now. This right here, I painted this last night, and this is a used Hydroboost that I actually got with Frankenstein when I bought that 99 GMC. The guy gave me this, says it was a good one. I think this is the one that originally came off the truck with 160,000 miles on it. So this should be a good one. I'm hoping it's a good one because it's not that easy of a swap. Obviously, you got bolts here. This is where the master cylinder goes on. So you will have to take that off. There's a line here, a line here, and a line here. Them have to come off. They come off relatively easy. And then the hard part, which is on the back side of the Hydroboost. You got 4 bolts. They are underneath the dash, and they're actually above the steering column, which makes them very hard to access. Also, there's a shaft coming off this thing right here. You see it's got a hole here. This is where you attach it to the brake pedal. And you've got a clip that has to come off. I'll go in the truck there and I'll try to give you an idea of what it's like. Okay, so we're in the truck here, driver's side. You can see these are the tools I've been using to take everything off. Really a 3/8 ratchet is what will fit in there. With a 15 millimeter. You will need a deep 15 millimeter to start off with. Then I went to the narrow one as I got the bolt off because the universal joint worked better. There's 3 of them you can get pretty good access to, but there's one that's really tough to get to under there. I got a small screwdriver. That was really for this clip right here. You can see you got to pry it off the bolt because it kind of clips on and grabs a hold of the deal so it can't fall off. You got to pry this area off the bolt. Well, actually it's not a bolt, it's like a stud. And then you got obviously 4 bolts. Those are 15 millimeter socket to get them off. But it's not easy to get up in here, guys. It's you gotta twist around, and my neck was hurting. There's one hole right there. There's another one up there, and then there's 2 like directly. I guess they're not. They're beside the steering column. There's the steering column and shaft right there, and they're all in this area right here. But I guess there's a dash support. I thought that was a steering column, but it's a dash support. Also, you've got this piece right here. It's got a clip on to the brake pedal too. That goes between the pedal there before you put everything on. So you gotta make sure you look at that before you pull it off, because it's gonna be impossible for me to get a shot up in there of what anything looks like, just because it's almost impossible for me to see. So it's the best I can do for you guys. Okay, so a lot of these lines, they come like this. You can see they're so long, and then they got a bend. And you see these stickers here? You got to straighten this out. From here to here, you got to straighten that out. And that's just for shipping, so they can ship it in a box, so it's not a fortune. If they ship these full length, it would cost a fortune to ship them. So it's not that bad. You just kind of be easy, roll them out. You can do it on cement, or I don't find it hard at all to roll them straight. But anyway, got my last line here to go in. And I'm really liking these lines. I recommend these Dorman lines. I went with an eBay seller last time when on my dually, and this install is going much better than that install. Maybe it's because I got a little more experience. Maybe it's because I took the bed off. Maybe it's a combination of both. But I like these lines better. They seem to fit better. They're better bent. I know a lot of people don't like the Dorman parts. They say they're cheap junk. But these stainless lines, I'm really liking them. So I'm going to get this final line in, and then we'll have to start bleeding the whole system. So there it is, straightened out. from tape line to tape line. So this is ready to go in now. So while the truck's on the hoist, I'm going to do an oil change here. It's been a little while since I've done it. Just a Mobil 1 high mileage, about a Lucas K&N filter. So there we go, guys, got them all in. Very happy with the routing. Like I said, these fit way better than the ones I got for the dually. So really happy with this. Even that front line, or the right front line, the other kit, they came in 2 pieces. This came in 1 piece. The company said that it was almost impossible to put the 1-piece brake line in, but I really didn't feel like it was that difficult. I am on a hoist though, so that might have something to do with it, but it really was not that hard to fish that through there, even by myself. But anyway, guys, I'm going to bleed my master cylinder, start bleeding the brakes. I ain't going to show that. I'm sure there's lots of videos on that. As for the old brake lines, they're going in the scrap pile. Well, she's pretty much buttoned up now, guys. Dad helped me bleed the brakes in this thing. We're pretty good. I think I did find a couple leakers under here. The rear brake lines, I just tightened them up. Again, that crowfoot flare nut wrench set come in real handy for tightening them back up. Because it was the 2 inside ones that were, I thought I snugged them down pretty good, but maybe I didn't. Another reason why this install is probably going a little easier is with this lift kit on this truck, the torsion bar usually runs right through here. And you can see with the lift kit, it's down below this cross member. So that really helps with getting room right here, which is nice. Another good reason to have a lift kit. Okay guys, so she's off the hoist now, just backed her up. I'm gonna check my power steering fluid. I heard my pump kind of whine when I fired it up. I did change the Hydroboost, and that runs off the power steering. So I'm gonna check that. We're gonna back her out here. I'm gonna clean up all the areas that I spilt brake fluid on, because that stuff is like really corrosive. Well, everything's checking out, guys. I cleaned it up. Everything looks good. Truck seems to be running good. There are a few drips underneath it, but I rinsed everything out, so I'm sure it's dripping a little bit. The truck does have a few leaks. I pretty much got them all whipped, I believe, except for maybe a small oil leak. But I went through and I worked on this thing, so it should be relatively leak-free. But anyway, guys, I'm happy with everything. Brakes feel good. The little bit I've been driving around, actually the brakes feel real good on it. The best they felt. So I think it's ready for the box to go back on it. Maybe not. You guys just have to stay tuned on that. I guess, guys, that's going to do it for this one. I'll see you.